Today we're going to be taking a closer look at Uncharted 4. We will be comparing the graphics and the performance between the PlayStation 5 and my $500 gaming PC. The specs are on the screen, just pause the video for a better look. If you enjoy these videos and want to support the channel, please like, comment, and subscribe. It will help a small channel like me a lot. But anyway, I will be breaking down some frames and going over the performance between the two. So let's not wait any longer and get right to the breakdown. Okay, so we're going to target all the PlayStation 5 graphical modes in this video, but let's start with the performance mode where the PlayStation 5 is targeting 1440p, 60 FPS, so the PC is going to be set to target the same 1440p, 60 FPS. I use Oxford textures and character models are set to as high as they can go pretty much, and everything else in the graphical settings are pretty much set to medium.
How do I get up there? Here we go! Looks like I can slide down there. Look on that post.
Okay, so let's take a closer look at a couple frames and let's see how the graphics look when we target performance mode. There's not much difference, to be honest. Textures seem to be very similar. Resolution seems to be very similar as well. So I guess you can say that the PS5 is really at a native 1440p. So let's see if we can spot a couple differences. The water on the PC looks a tad bit darker. If you look at the textures by the steps, the PC looks to have a more defined look on the textures. Overall, the PC looks a little bit darker, but if you look at shadows, the resolution, and overall all the textures, the graphical difference is very subtle. In this frame, there's also not a lot of difference in graphics besides the PC being a little darker. The shadows looking darker right in this area. The shadows look a little better on the PC, but no big difference. Okay, so when we look at this frame, what stands out the most is the tower. And once again, the PC looks darker, which is maybe why I would say the textures look a bit better on the PC, because the PlayStation has more of a sunshining effect and it cancels some of the details on the tower by being so bright. For example, let's look at the very top of this tower, and you can see what I'm saying about the PlayStation being so bright, it's kind of taken away from the textures. And then on the PC, you can just see more textures on the tower. Overall, this is very tedious, so to me, one doesn't necessarily look better, they overall look similar, but with this frame kind of standing out more than a lot of the other frames because of that dark shadow look from the PC and how it reflects on the tower.
Here we go. Burns' cell. Cell? More like a suite. Okay, where to begin? Sun and moon. 10 and 2. X and II. Would you look at that?
Okay, let's look at the wall textures inside the cell. No big difference. The PC still has overall a darker look. And as far as this frame, they look very similar to me. This frame as well, no big difference. And for this frame as well, look very much identical to me. So when we compare the graphics between the PC and the PlayStation 5 in this title, when we target 1440p 60 FPS or aka performance mode on the PlayStation 5, we can see there's no huge difference. The PC has a darker look, and maybe we can say the textures stand out just a bit more on the PC, but the game looks good on both platforms. So now let's focus on the FPS. As you can see, both systems are capable of 1440p 60 FPS. The PlayStation 5 performance mode is definitely a beast, and the $500 PC can replicate that very easily. And since this game has no ray tracing, the 5700 XT inside the PC stacks up very good. Both systems have a locked 60 FPS. So let's switch over to fidelity mode and target 4K 30 FPS. Let's see if we can get one of these systems to break away from the other. The PC is set to 4K, high textures, and other graphical settings is pretty much set to medium.
What's up, boys?
Good to have you back, Drake.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
Toss down your gear.
Here you go.
Thanks.
How'd we do?
How do you think?
Full recovery?
Every last bit.
Making the rest of us look bad.
Making the rest of you look good.
Let's wrap this up later. My hero. Come on, let's go see what you brought us. Hey, so how about you let someone else be point man next time? You've earned a break.
No thanks. Take a dive over being at the office any day.
So let's take a closer look to see if we can spot a difference with this frame right here. It is very similar. The PC looks to have more detail around Nate's beard and mustache, but overall they're very similar. But now we can see a big difference in this frame. If we look at the water, we can see that the PlayStation 5 has a better ripple effect in the water, while the PC looks really flat and unrealistic compared to the PS5. But keep in mind, I'm pretty sure the settings I chose is responsible for the lack of detail in the water on the PC, but nonetheless, the PS5 looks better. Now, if we shift directions inside this frame, we can look at this tube right here, and we can see that the PC has better textures on the tube. So at this point at 4K, I believe there's more differences between both systems, but they still kind of look very similar though. Now for this frame, the PC definitely looks sharper if we focus in on some of the things in the background. Like the flooring of the boat, we can see how the textures on the PC is much more defined. And even the objects farther back, we can see that the barrels are sharper on the PC. But we can also see this weird artifact or some type of graphical glitch on the PC here. So yeah, this is kind of what I expect sometimes out of a gaming PC, because with all the freedom that we do have, sometimes it leads to weird glitches just like this. So overall, the two systems start to look a little different at 4K, but still very similar. While the PC has better details with most textures at 4K, the PS5 had better water effects and still some other effects. And we can also see some weird stuff going on with the PC. To be honest, I'm very happy with the graphics I've seen from the PlayStation 5. It really looks native 4K, so that's a big plus for a console. I still doubt if it's not upscaled just a little, but nonetheless, it's 4K. Enough so to say that it's native 4K. So let's look at the performance at 4K. And I have to make a disclaimer, the PS5 does allow you to unlock the frames in this game. So I do believe on the PS5 you can achieve 40 FPS at 4K, but my capture card will not allow me to enable VRR, so I was pretty much stuck at 30 FPS on the PS5, and you will be too if your TV does not support VRR. And a PC doesn't need VRR to unlock its FPS, so the PC in this scene stayed around 45 FPS on average, which is good, but there's not a lot to render here. So now let's look at the Performance Plus mode. And let's see how the PC and the PlayStation 5 does at 120 FPS. The PS5 targets 1080p 120 FPS. So for the PC, this is the first time doing an entire comparison where I'm actually going to enable FSR because I want to make sure the GPU is ready to target 120 FPS. I also turn the texture settings to medium and everything else to low.
God damn it.
Ray, where are we going here?
The lighthouse. Vargas said the boat is right under the lighthouse.
But which way?
I don't know. Get outside and figure it out. Get in!
The window! Nathan, give me a hand!
There, it's open! We got it! Let's go!
don't see the lighthouse.
Right now, let's just get away from the guards.
Down this way!
So as you can see, my PC was no match for the PlayStation in PlayStation Plus mode, and I can assure you I really did try to beat the PS5. Overall, my GPU was only being used 60 to 80%, so it all came down to my CPU. The GPU in this computer showed me is just as fast as a PS5 in this game, if not faster, but for my CPU, it's an Intel i3 and have a lot less cores, but the individual performance of these cores is much faster than the PlayStation 5, but in Uncharted, it does not really matter. I believe this game wants more cores, and the PlayStation 5 has 8 cores and 16 threads, compared to a little i3 with 4 cores and 8 threads. So for the conclusion of this video, I have to crown the PlayStation as the winner. For one, the PlayStation kept up with the PC, and I know a lot of you guys might be more surprised that the PC kept up with the PlayStation, but if you have tested a lot of budget builds like me, then you know it's not hard to match a PlayStation 5 performance with a solid $500 build PC. And for the number 2 reason of why the PlayStation wins is because the PlayStation 5 in Performance Plus mode crushed the PC in FPS, and I know a lot of you guys would never think an i3 could come close to a PS5 level of performance, but this is also not true. It just depends if a game likes single core performance or if a game likes multi-core performance. But we will test this theory a lot more in the near future, so let's give a thumbs up to Sony because I'm no hater. The PlayStation exclusive games seem to be some of the best optimized games in general, and they really push the PlayStation 5. And I don't know if I can say the same about the Xbox, but I do look forward to finding out very soon as well. But if you have made it this far in this video, I really do appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe.
Through here! Watch yourself! Oh, crap! Over there, to the left! Let's go! This way. No, wait. Over here, come on!